All right, Bernard Hopkins changes his mind, switches up his prediction for the Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford fight. It's going to make some cats mad, but it is what it is. Gonna report on it. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're gonna be in the 147-pound division talking about what the legendary 160-pound former kingpin, undisputed champion Bernard Hopkins had to say about the fight coming up between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. Man, I'm trying to tell you, I'm waiting for this fight to take place. We are just short of 40 days. What are we, 43 days away from this? 43 days away from this fight. Biggest fight in boxing between Errol, who is the 147-pound champion for the WBA, WBC, and IBF, and Terence Crawford, who was the champion for the WBO, in a fight we've been waiting for about a year. A lot of people say it's been forever and ever, but really, we've been waiting about a year. So when you compare that to what took place with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, hey, it went kind of quick. Or what happened with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, never happened. So obviously this happened a lot more quickly. And Bernard Hopkins is letting people know what he thinks about the fight and switches up the person that he actually picked to win the fight. Originally, he had picked Terence Crawford to win the fight. Now he picks Errol Spence Jr. to win the fight. Now, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And please, when you release a video, share the video. Make a comment in the video. If you agree, let me know you agree. If you don't agree, hey man, let me know you don't agree. And maybe we can chop it up in the comment section, have some good time talking this boxing. Otherwise, come on by the live streams where we chop it up over there every morning at 8 a.m. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you real fast about today's sponsor, the Boxing Showtime app. It's a very useful app that keeps you updated on all things boxing, and you can keep up with the latest fights, where to watch them, the latest news, and a lot more. For any hardcore boxing fan like myself, and most likely all of y'all, I would definitely recommend downloading it. And it also is most definitely a big support to the channel. It's available for both Apple and Android, and you can find the link in the description below. Thanks for considering downloading Boxing Showtime's app. But let's get back into the subject matter of the video. Bernard Hopkins says that Errol Spence Jr. is more talented. He said, look, if I have to go with the fighter, I think the more talented fighter is Errol Spence Jr. The better fighter is Errol Spence Jr. But he could also see, this is a pick'em type of fight, right? It's a pick'em fight, very, very close fight. Pretty much what everybody says about the fight. But the thing that stood out with me about Bernard was that it was a pick'em fight before, but you picked Terence Crawford. So why are you picking Errol now when you picked Terence Crawford before? Is he hating on Terence Crawford? That's what, going through my kind of boxing fan, trolley type boxing fan, and best trolley type boxing fan impersonation that I can muster. What would Terence Crawford fans say about this? Oh, Bernard is hating on Terence Crawford. You're hating on him because you say that Errol Spence Jr. is more talented. Because you say that Errol Spence Jr. is naturally the bigger guy. No, man, he's not hating. He's just saying what he believes. And the interesting thing about Bernard Hopkins is that, and I've said this before, that the style of fighter that Bernard Hopkins is, I think allows him to see the talent in Errol Spence Jr. easier than people that do not have that particular type of talent, right? Now, what do I mean by that? A lot of people think that the most talented fighter is the flashiest fighter. The fighter that you can see moving the fastest, the one that you see going around the ring, slipping a bunch of shots, getting out, kind of like doing like a Pernell Whitaker, right? I think Pernell Whitaker, the former pound for pound top fighter, one of the best fighters ever to do it, and somebody that is very, very underrated when it comes to people talking about who the best fighters were. At Pernell Whitaker's peak, and robberies aside and all of that, looking at that man in that ring in the lightweight division, an Olympic gold medalist and on one of the best Olympic teams that there were, came in and I think embarrassed some Hall of Famers, right? Some guys like Julio Cesar Chavez and who's Oscar De La Hoya, right? I think Tito Trinidad beat him, but whatever, you get who I'm talking about. A lot of people think of that as that is talent, and they overlook the talent of guys like Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the talent level of guys like Andre Ward, the talent level of guys like Bernard Hopkins. And I think that guys like that, for a lot of boxing fans, are harder to see coming because they don't see that there is a talent in steadiness. There's a talent in that style, the ability to put pressure on people. Also, the quickness of subtle movements, the quickness of small shuffle steps, left and right, forward and back. They don't see the athleticism associated with that. They just kind of see it and look at it and say, oh, the guy's just standing in front of him. He's just nothing but a come forward, flat-footed fighter. And, is that true? Does he fight more flat-footed or is he flat-footed? It's a difference. Are you fighting flat-footed or are you flat-footed? And a lot of times you will find these guys are really not flat-footed. They're not somebody that they're moving forward in that fashion because they want to move forward in that fashion. They're not moving forward in that fashion because they don't have the ability to get on their toes and move left, right, get slippery and do all of that stuff. However, if you listen to Errol Spence Jr., when Errol Spence Jr. talks about what he's going to do in the Terence Crawford fight, he says essentially that. He's like, look, man, I'm going to box a guy. I'm not going to get out of character. I'm going to do what I need to do. And I'm going to be very, very focused, because one thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to lose your focus in a fight in round 6, round 7, and you wind up getting hit with something big, right? And that can definitely take place in a fight. So there's a talent in that. But a lot of people are just going to say, hey, man, Bernard Hopkins just hating on the dude. Now, just like almost everybody else that's making predictions for the fight, they go off and they say, well, look, this is what Terence Crawford does as well. These are the advantages that Terence Crawford has, because I don't think very many people at all are thinking to themselves that Terence Crawford, doesn't have a considerable amount of talent and a considerable amount of ability himself, because he obviously does. However, we'll see how the fight comes out, man. And I don't think people need to be balanced for the sake of being balanced. You don't have to say, well, I think I refuse to pick anybody in the fight, but the fight could be a close fight. The fight is a good fight. This is the best two fighters in the division, save maybe some young contenders that are out there as well, like Jaron Ennis and potentially Virgil Ortiz, if Virgil Ortiz can stay healthy. Right. But at the end of the day, man, it's going to be fun. Great conversation, a great boxing event for boxing fans really to love. But anyway, and have a good time. Right. And should have good conversations, fun conversations about it. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.